Hello and welcome. I'm Wise Old Tree, and this is a review of Dimension 20, Season 12, Shriek Week. Starting with an overview, Shriek Week is a live play tabletop RPG series produced by Dropout and released in fall of 2021. It's a 4-episode miniseries, with episodes averaging just under 2 hours apiece in length. Dimension 20 newcomer Gabe Hicks is the game master, and the players are Iffy Nwadiwe, Allie Beardsley, Lily Dew, and Danny Fernandez. The series takes place at Brahm University, a college for monsters of all varieties to get a higher education and, more importantly, find hookups with their fellow monsters. The season plays more like a dating sim, focusing on interpersonal relationships as each of the player characters are looking for love during the titular Shriek Week. For my overall impressions, this series is the first Dimension 20 season in which Brennan Lee Mulligan is not involved. I think. He's not running the game, he's not a player character, and for some reason, there's no credits, so I'm just assuming that he's not involved in some other way behind the scenes. And look, I really like Brennan as a performer, but I also think that Dimension 20 is capable of working without him. So it's interesting to see what a season of Dimension 20 is like with no Brennan. Unfortunately, Shriek Week isn't a great example of that. I think there are some interesting things going on with this series, but there's also a reason this season is generally considered the bad one of Dimension 20 seasons. First, the gameplay system. Shriek Week uses the Mythic system, a pure homebrew system made by Gabe for this season. I like seasons that are willing to break away from D&D 5e to use other game systems. Different systems have different strengths and weaknesses, and some will be better fits depending on the setting and tone, and, using the same system for everything just gets kind of repetitive. Unfortunately, the system used here doesn't seem to play very well, with little differentiation for varying character strength, and an unclear target of what constitutes success and failure after rolling a handful of dice. I also like the idea of having a dating sim be the central pole of the plot instead of something combat-oriented. But the dating sim aspect gets pushed to the side for a mystery plot, which isn't that interesting, but also takes up most of the runtime of the season. Traditional dating sim games sometimes have these types of larger plots that play between and after individual character routes, but they do that by being a heavily structured narrative instead of tabletop improv. The players also seem rather tepid on the dating sim aspect of the season, which doesn't help what's supposed to be the central pole for the show. It's a little ironic that this season comes after The Seven, a series ostensibly more about saving the world, but where the players could barely keep it in their pants, to this series, which is about dating, but where the players jump at the first chance they get to do literally anything else. The standout player for this season is Iffy Nwadiwe, playing a werewolf named Terry Talbot, I guess. I usually use this section for a player character that I like and feel like I have something to say about, but I'm just so ambivalent to every character this season. Iffy feels like he's at least trying to engage with the world and setting and characters, but his character Terry also feels like he doesn't get enough development or screen time and has a rushed resolution at the end. But then that's also just kind of true for all of the player characters, so, I don't know. As for a rating, I'm going to give Season 12 of Dimension 20 Shriek Week a 1 out of 5. There are aspects of the series that are theoretically interesting, but that doesn't make a show that's fun or engaging to watch. I think Shriek Week isn't a quote unquote bad season in that I actively dislike what's happening, but I just find it very boring. I don't care about the mystery. I don't care about the dating sim. I'm not invested in who ends up with who or if any of the characters end up with anyone. If you want a monster dating sim, go play Monster Prom. Or if you want a Dimension 20 dating season, try A Court of Fae and Flowers. If you want a non-D&D game system, go watch Misfits and Magic. And if you want a monster-centric season, try Coffin Run or Never After. All right, that's all for now. Thank you for watching, and see you next time for Season 13, A Starstruck Odyssey.